Hi Amit, welcome to the podcast.
Good afternoon, Kaushik.
And thank you for being here. And I'm sure, let's say a big hi to our viewers. So, viewers, today we have Amit. Amit has around 24 years of experience, and he has got a very, I would say, very deep leadership journey so far. And he has actually accomplished so much when it comes to leadership. So, Amit, thank you for being here, and it's a privilege talking to you today.
Great. Thank you, Kaushik. Thank you for having me here. Indeed, it has been a great journey in my professional life. And over the last couple of hours, we have been spending and we have been talking quite a few insightful things, getting to know each other more from our past relationship, and most importantly, I think good exchange of thoughts.
Yeah, definitely. So, Amit, 24 years is a huge period, I must say, right? And I'm sure there's a lot of ups and downs, a roller coaster ride, and it was not easy sometimes. It was very challenging. Any milestones you remember in these 24 years which really made you very strong?
Well, firstly, Kaushik, now that you have said that 24 years couple of times, it is making me relive all those 24 years of my life, of my professional life. So, yes, like they say, right? I mean, it's a common saying as well. Even when the heart beeps, it's not in a straight line. So ups and downs are important, and those ups and downs makes you the person who you are. One, of course, whatever the culture you are coming in from, whatever the background you are coming in from, whatever your skill set you have been getting over the period from your education, from your work, etc. That will help. And two is, these ups and downs also teach you resiliency. That's the important thing. Every time you see a down, you see a trough, that's where there is a problem, of course, and these problems are the opportunities. So I take it that way. All those ups and downs, they come in as a problem. If they come in as a problem, there is an opportunity for you. And in the opportunity, it's up to us how resilient we are, how we can build it further on that, and take the success forward.
Wonderful. Yes, indeed. Resilience is the key, and I'm very happy that you have gone through that and contributing so much to a lot of organizations, a lot of individuals. So I must congratulate you, Amit, for able to do all that, in such a gracious manner in the last 24 years. It's not easy.
Yes. Thank you, Kaushik. Thank you.
Thank you. One thing which I feel about leadership personally, in my 26 years of work experience, I've realized that the word leader or leadership is really hyped. I believe that we all can be leaders. An employee can be a leader. A manager can be a leader. And everyone can be a leader. I think leadership is not just a corporate word, but it can be, in our personal lives also, right? What are your thoughts on leadership, Amit?
I completely agree with you, Kaushik. And it's not that only with the designation comes with the leader, right? Like you rightly said, every one of us is a born leader. Yes, the designations do build in that hierarchy and whatever is required, which is fine, which is absolutely okay with it. But then this reminds me of a particular example. Whilst I was in college, we were just going for a trip, and someone had to take a charge of the finance part.
Okay.
And it's not that easy, right? It's not that easy.
Right.
So we call it on my community, my genes or whatever, I was given the charge of managing the finances.
Mm-hmm.
Now, does that mean all of a sudden I became a leader? No. Does that mean I was managing all the finances well and ensuring that we are doing all the right things and within the budget? Yes. So that's how I view as leadership. Yes, the organizations do give that tag name, that role, that designation and all, but each of us have that capacity to perform the leadership role, whichever it is. It could be related to people, it could be related to managing the clients, it could be related to managing the sales, it could be related to managing the operations. So each one of us can be a leader in definitely the true essence and the kind of work which we are doing. So that's my view, Kaushik.
Wow. Interesting. Very interesting. Very interesting. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the things which you just said, I can just connect to it because, in fact, in our lives, we've seen so many people, right, having that spark, having that urge to take initiatives, and they grow. And
Correct.
irrespective of the designations, I think we've seen people who develop themselves, right, who actually decide in the mind that, hey, I want to lead my life,
Yes.
both personally, professionally, and once they decide that, then it becomes much more easier for them. Right?
Yes.
So while I'm actually talking about leadership, I also feel that once people decide that they want to lead personally, professionally, I think the most important thing is how do they build that skill, that leadership muscle, right? So in your 24 years, you've seen so many leaders across countries, across continents, and I'm sure there is a formula, or there are few things which we should learn to develop that skill from the initial years itself. So anything which you have in your mind in terms of how do we develop this skill, in the early days?
First things first, I like that word, leadership muscle. Yes, indeed, if we have to become a true leader, whichever profession you are in, one should not stop learning. That's the key point. And during this journey, every organization which I have worked with, every leader which I have worked with, for that matter, every team member which I have worked with, we have to learn from each other. If a leader is driving a particular, say, conversation, whether it could be sales or a team or any, say, presentation or whatever, I am sure that person is there for a reason. There might be one or two key takeaways which you can take it from there and start building your own repository, start building your own skills, like you mentioned, and then start implementing it. See, part one is, of course, observing. Part two is implementing. If we do not implement what we observe, if we do not implement what we learn, then all our learning would not be, we are not doing a justice to the learning. So the biggest important point which we have to follow is, yes, of course, we do take our notes in the conversations, in the critical, say, meetings or conversations or learnings or trainings which we attend. The biggest part is implementing them. Not 100% of it is possible, but where possible, try to find an opportunity of implementing it, and that is what will bring the best in you.
Got it.
That is where you will, of course, further build on your leadership skills, and most importantly, now you are bringing in the flavor of not just yourself, but what you have learned over the years from many people, many leaders, many great, say, thought leadership things or conversations which you have gone through.
Got it. And I know you are a lifelong learner. You always keep doing something or the other, keep learning. I know you're a big fan of storytelling and story viewing. I've attended one of your workshops, and I love the way you articulated a few things on storytelling, and I'm using it in my daily life. But having said that, they also say that every leader has a plan. And they would say, hey, next year I'm learning this, next year I'm learning this, right? They constantly train themselves, coach themselves. I've seen a lot of leaders, managers, working professionals, training them, coaching them, mentoring them on a lot of new skills. So is there anything in top of your list, a couple of skills which you feel you are learning, and also our viewers should learn that to make themselves better leader?
A very good point there, Kaushik. I have to admit I'm not very good at keeping a record or keeping a plan for myself. However, that said, this is one habit which I've got it from my son now. I observed him that he was very good at it, and I kind of, like I said, right, we just have to follow or understand what are the right things happening around. So it was my son who was doing it. I said, okay, if he can do it, I can as well. So I started copying him, if I may say that. So yes, coming back to the learning list, in the last 1 year, there were two things on top of my agenda. One was definitely doing more storytelling workshops with the teams which I work with, and of course contribute to the society as well. So that is one. I've checked the box on that side. The second was AI, and I'm sure all of us and the viewers will also get excited about it. See, AI, Gen AI, I see it as a yes, it's a technology, but it's a technology with definitely a human-centered factor. We cannot be dealing with AI as a separate, individual, ongoing parallel track. The humans have to get involved. So very recently, I completed my course with MIT, and that was on building AI products and services. Eye-opener, if I may say, because AI, yes, it can do so many things. Unless the human centricity is not there, it will not give you the desired results. So that was on my bucket list for this year. For the next couple of years, I've just thought about two or three more things which are there. Of course, the time will say whether I'll be able to accomplish that or not on time. But then those 2-3 things are more related to, one is definitely related to people development, and the two is an implementation of an AI model. So these are the two things which are there, definitely on top of my mind. Let's see how it goes, and possibly I might get an opportunity to talk to you again and discuss about how it has happened.
Got it. Very good. Very good. Great. I think viewers, please note these kind of topics and these courses we should do for your development as well. Right. So changing topics, Amit, I feel that for a leader, I think the family support is the most important. Do you agree?
200%. There is no doubt about it, and cannot agree more. Family is your pillar. Family is your support system, and if that is happening in its right direction, in a peaceful direction, or whichever it is, way we call it, you can focus on the tasks which you have in hand. You can focus on your learning. You can focus on your professional life, and so on. So I have been blessed that a very wonderful family. My son is although it is in his late teens, but he at times gives me so much of guidance. I already shared that example of the notes keeping. So he is one of my key support, and of course, needless to say, my wife, my better half. She kind of understands how things happen. And most importantly, it is the path whichever I decide. She helps me in that every step of that path. So that is how I would take it. And you are right, family support. We cannot achieve growth. We cannot achieve that thought process without the support of the family.
Wonderful. Wonderful. In fact, I feel we because of them.
Right. Cannot agree more.
Yeah.
Cannot agree more.
And somebody said, leadership indeed begins at home.
200%. Yes.
Right. So
yes.
I think I'm happy that we have all that support. So great.
Indeed.
So moving on, and now we are getting into the interesting part of the podcast, and it's a rapid fire for you.
Wow.
So one word or a one-liner answer,
please.
And we'll start with, what do you think would be the most important criteria for leadership?
I would give a one-liner answer or a 3-word answer. People, process, priorities.
People, process.
Focus on all these 3 P's and your life will be simple, easy. And when I say priorities, it could be related to your clients, it could be related to your professional life, it could be related to your personal life. And process, of course, you yourself are a black belt, so you definitely know how important the process is. The processes have to be adhered to, and lastly, we are in people-oriented world.
Great.
So cannot escape from it. We have to deal with people. Be strong on these three areas, and the rest is everything yours.
Great. One difference between a leader and a follower.
Leader would like to always take charge and be at the front, whereas follower would like to do it differently, but would be possibly sitting not at the front and as a backbencher.
Wonderful. Top 3 leaders in the country at this point of time.
Well, if I don't take the first name which I'll be taking now, then I will not be doing justice to the nation. So one is, of course, Narendra Modi. Second is, I feel it is Nitin Gadkari from a political standpoint. And the third is Mr. Banga, who is, that's what I feel about him. Of course, he's not based out of India anymore. He's in the US. But yes, he's the third person.
Wonderful. And the last one, if you have to describe you as a leader in one word, Amit, what's that word? What's that magical word?
Well, magical word. Okay, so this is what I would say. I'm passionate of whatever I do, whatever I'm involved into, and whatever. If my heart is in that, I will be displaying that passion. So you can call me a passionate leader.
Passion. Very good, very good. In fact, that reminds me of one of my quotes which I've written some time back, and which says, when your passion becomes your profession, then your profession becomes your obsession.
Wow. Wow.
So keep that passion on, Amit.
Thank you.
And thank you for being in this leadership podcast. I think you have shared a lot of insights which helps our viewers when they start their leadership journey or when they scale up in their leadership journey. And I'm very much sure that your second innings is coming your way. And I'm sure we will learn a lot from you going forward. So thank you, Amit, for being here. We had a wonderful, wonderful time together. I personally loved the interaction, and I hope that one day we get a chance to work together in some way, in some initiative. You never know. It's a small world.
Indeed.
So viewers, tata, bye-bye, and keep leading personally and professionally like the way Amit does. So thank you and have a good one. Thank you.
Many thanks, Kaushik. Thank you, viewer. Thank you.